Avril Lavigne's former home in LA just hit the market. The sellers are asking $15 million. Adam Lambert's Sunset Strip mansion is for sale. He wants $7 million for this one. Today we're talking about some of the top celebrity listings that hit the market the last couple weeks. Let's get into it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, as someone who grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, I had no idea that Avril Lavigne had this much money. Her old mansion just hit the market. Avril and her ex-husband, Chad Kroeger, who's the lead singer of Nickelback, lived here a while back. The home has been fully renovated though since they moved out. Here's the property, 15 million bucks. It's over 10,000 square feet. It's very private. You can see that it's sitting behind these gates and it looks a lot older. The home was actually built in 1989. Inside, once again, we've seen these many times before. We got one of those Scarface style staircases. We definitely have some expensive details in the dining and the kitchen area between obviously the furniture, the coffered ceilings, and the kitchen itself is huge. I mean, I guess that's kind of what you would expect for a 10,000 square foot house, but look at this. Here's the living room, very cozy. We got a little wet bar in here, but then we go to more of like an industrial modern look in the powder bathroom. See, I guess that is one critique I'll give this house, is it feels like we've got like 3 or 4 different styles going on. Like this style I totally love, but then you've got this style which feels completely out of place. Harry Styles band members are listing their $2.8 million historic home in Pasadena. This is the oldest house on our list today. The place was built 130 years ago. It's a Victorian style home known as the Hutchins House. This is an awesome place, you guys. We don't see houses like this on the channel here very often, especially in California. Not a huge surprise that it is already under contract. Yeah, we have got an 1899 build date on this place. You know your house is old when the city of Pasadena puts a plaque out front calling it a cultural heritage landmark. Oddly enough, this is the type of house where, like, if this was built in the 90s, I'd say it needs to be gut renovated, but the fact that it's historic is actually very cool. It definitely reminds me of some of the homes that I grew up in around the Pittsburgh area. A lot of really small rooms. You didn't do great rooms back in these days. Like, here's the dining room, here's the kitchen, here's another little breakfast nook or whatever. We're up on the second floor. You just know those floors are creaking when you walk around this place. Moving on, Quincy Jones custom Bel-Air mansion is for sale. This one is the most expensive listing on our list today, asking $60 million. Quincy left this 25,000 square foot Bel-Air mansion behind when he passed away. It's a home that he spent 6 years renovating to his liking back in the early 2000s. First impression, you can already tell that this is an iconic estate. We got 5 bedrooms, 17 bathrooms, 25,000 square feet. It's sitting on almost 2.5 acres. Just look at the presence on this lot with a long winding driveway that takes you down to the house. You own pretty much this entire section of hillside. Don't have a whole lot of photos of the interior, but this is the main living space. I love what they did with the ceiling. Massive swimming pool out back. It feels honestly like a resort. A lot of grass in the backyard too. When I see this, I do always think, oh man, that's a lot of maintenance. But if you're gonna spend 60 million bucks on your house, you can afford the maintenance. This is one of those types of homes where it's like, if you want to see more, you better be a qualified buyer, which, newsflash, I'm not. All right, our last listing of the day is probably our most unique and unusual listing of the day. Adam Lambert's Sunset Strip homes for sale. Adam bought this place in 2018 for $6.5 million before he went on to fully customize it to his liking. This is one of those types of homes that looks very subtle and very unassuming from the street, but it gets a lot louder once you get inside. The photographer takes us out back first where we got this cool L-shaped swimming pool and hot tub. Look out that window. This is what I'm just obsessed about when it comes to California. It is just so lush compared to out here in the desert. Behind that room, you have the kitchen with one of the biggest islands I've ever seen. This island's got to be like at least 16 feet long. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is called a leather finish on the countertop. It's kind of like a matte finish. It's really nice, especially in these darker colors. If you're sitting at this table with the door open, it basically feels like you're outside. The only downside to these types of doors is that it's very hard to get a screen for them. Most people just go without screens, which means that, yeah, if you've got this door open all the time, you're gonna have to just accept the fact that there's gonna be some bugs around. This is cool too. You don't see this in newer homes very often, but that's like one of those Malm fireplaces. I feel like this house checks a lot of boxes. For value, you've got views, you've got privacy, you've got modern finishes, you have a good amount of outdoor space. It's been on the market for over a month now at this point, which I'm kind of surprised as to why, but the market's a little bit sketchy at the moment. I'm sure they'll find their buyer soon. That's a wrap for this week's episode, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see me over here on the Estate Media channel again in the future, make sure you hit subscribe before you go, and I'll see you next time.